Thank you, everyone. Today is Tuesday, September 16th. We are here for the retirement board meeting. The time is 9:40. We had a little technical problems there this morning, but we are good to go now. Joining us at today's meeting, we have in person Jay Steves, Tatiana Swanson. In remote, we have John Kowicki and Robert Merles. We also have Administrator Elizabeth Milch. And in person, we have Jacob Cole and myself, the chair, Michelle Valancourt.
You forgot Marty.
Thank you. I'm hearing voices, so if you could please mute yourself if you're not talking, that would be great. Okay, let's start with the August board meeting minutes. Anyone have any questions, comments?
Motion to accept.
Second. Okay, second, roll call, Tatiana Swanson.
Yes.
John Kowicki. Mr. Merles,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Second on the agenda is the membership changes.
Time of the year, last school, folks.
I see that the school department's on an austerity program.
No, it's the beginning of the school year. They hire a ton of people every year.
Yeah.
Everybody and their grandmother.
Motion to accept.
I'll second it.
Second by Jay Steves. Roll call, Mr. Steves?
Yes.
Mrs. Swanson?
Sorry, yes.
Mr. Merles?
Yes.
Mr. Kowicki?
Hey,
And the chair votes yes. Third on the agenda, the August payroll warrant.
What dropped 55,000, Jake?
that was the back payment we owed the gentleman, it was the disability. When his disability finally got approved, we had to do that back pay.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, so then obviously that was last month, and then obviously that goes away, and now he's at his stable
Yep. Okay.
3,000.
Glenn Hauser?
We can't.
He's saying
mention-
okay. Any other questions?
No.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a
Motion to accept.
Okay.
Second.
Second by Jay. Motion to accept and seconded. Roll call.
Yes.
Jay, Tatiana,
Yes.
Mr. Kowicki,
Yay.
and Mr. Merles.
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is the August expense warrant. Tiny.
I will say real quickly, I did regroup with the treasurer's office, Jin He, who used to do our postage for us. But now we have the schools doing it, and there was, I wanted to make sure we weren't getting double charged essentially. So we are only getting charged going forward. Well, we'll always have a little bit of town postage from like when Liz and I send out little, letters throughout the month, maybe 5 or 10 or what have you. So we will actually always probably have a little town postage, but the bulk of all of the big bulk mailings, the pay stubs, any annual type mailings like the address affidavits, those will be done for the school, and we appreciate that. They do everything for us now. So where you see the Needham Public Schools, that should be a recurring invoice every month.
The schools are taking over all of the postage,
And that's
including the
even,
towns.
oh, okay, good. So,
So they kind of started last week,
okay,
picking up the
Jay, could you explain, let's see, 1179?
One, one,
It says death, refund to sister.
yes,
What,
yes.
what are we refunding? I mean,
Okay, so there was a woman who passed that was an employee. Her name is Jean Doucette, and her sister is beneficiary in the event that she died. She didn't make it to retirement. So she died
okay,
in service.
so
So
that's the amount of money that she put in, right?
yeah, actually, well, she had a little bit more. I think it was around roughly 44,000, but we have to withhold federal tax.
Yeah, okay. Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Motion to accept?
Second,
Seconded by Jay. Roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Steves.
yes.
Mrs. Swanton.
Yes.
Mr. Merles
Yes.
and Mr. Kowicki.
Yay.
And the chair votes yes. Okay, next on the agenda is the July operating statement.
Well, the footings are 280,000. That included the two bank accounts. The increase came from the town paying its portion in July, somewhere around 14 million. So actually, we're at like 172 million. And the market has been, like, at least on the equity side, the market has been pretty strong. I mean, it seems certain indices hit all-time highs every day, but so we'll see how long that lasts. We'll take it as long as we can get it. But 270 something million is pretty good. That's about it.
Anybody else have any comments on the operating statement? Okay, we don't have to vote on that, so moving forward, to the net income statement. We're on page 12.
I'll try to make that a little bit larger for I actually used to do it in landscape. I'll make that a little bit easier to read next time for the board. For me too, I'm getting older now.
I don't have a problem with it,
Okay,
and usually I would complain if I,
I can try and adjust the margins a little bit.
yeah, looks good. Have any questions on that?
No, but we can expect starting, well, the Fed's meeting this week, looks like they're gonna lower the rates 25 basis points anyways, maybe 50, but that affects the amount of interest the bank pays on our deposits. So that amount of money is gonna decrease over time. And that's just the way it is.
Okay. Tatiana, any comments? Yeah. Okay, going on to the trim statements. Mr. Morles, any, I know-
No, I don't have any comment on it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Way down.
Yeah,
The-
management fees. last month
management fees
was
were only 29,000. I don't know why they were that low, but I mean, I think they should be that low, but they never are.
What I
I mean,
noticed,
you figure the last 6 months, that's the last 6 months,
You gotta mute one of the devices, Bob.
Okay, I
Yeah,
mean, in the last 6 months, the fees have been over $100,000, so anyways. Maybe next month, what's his name will clear all that up for us.
Yeah, what I noticed, and I'm sure Marty did too, because Marty kind of pulls it all together for us. Yeah, usually we have it must be their commissions that are paid out quarterly, but usually we have, you know, two months that are around 40,000, then we get hit with the 100 and some odd thousand, then it goes to 40, then another 100,000. But you're right, the last 2 months, you know, we did see like two larger months. I'm not
Yeah.
sure the rhyme or reason either. And then I did notice that this past month was kind of lower. So I don't know.
so that's 7 months worth of data. It's giving us an average of $87,000 a month in fees as we stand as of this statement.
Okay, 87.
316, yeah.
This is as of July.
As of July, right.
Yeah.
One of his
Yeah.
devices.
Okay.
He has to do it.
No, you muted. There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Any other comments on the Prim statement? Anyone else?
I would just say very fast. The last page, I always find a little interesting because it does kind of show the different classes that our money is spread throughout. So if you ever want to,
So he's talking page 18,
oh yeah.
so that we're all on the same page. Go ahead, Jake.
I was just gonna say, you know, if you kind of want to know where our money is allocated and the percentages, and then you can kind of see by class, you know, how well the class is performing. Of course, some things are seasonal and so forth, you know, traditionally, but that's, I always try to incorporate that page. It actually doesn't come as part of the statement. Don't ask me why. It's a separate addendum, but I always include it for you guys.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Some of those fee variations could be redemptions as they rotate the sectors.
Performance by class, they only total up to be 116, but in the fund, we've got 257. So what's that 116 then? Gotta be something missing out of it.
Yeah, and you know, like Bob said, Francesco, and actually that's probably a good idea. They're coming in October. I'm still trying to get him. Marty and I talked to him last week. Francesco said he's gonna get us a breakdown of management fees. I said, Francesco, I would like to be able to disperse that to the board before you come. So he told me I'll take care of it, Jake. But anyway, it might be good to just kind of jot down some questions that you might have for Francesco, or I don't know if he's gonna be bringing Laura. Laura is she reports to Francesco, but they both are basically our account reps.
Going back to page 18, it says the total fund is 116 million. But if you go back to page 13, we actually have 257 million. So it's not all of our funds that are on that page.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, yeah, I'm not sure either.
Missing quite a few chunks of change here.
Anyway. Well, that's all they really give us, but
Yeah. Any other comments, suggestions? On the bank, on Prim? Okay, moving forward. We're looking at the July bank reconciliations. We're on page 19. Questions, concerns, comments? Moving to page 20. The bank, statement. So this is the general fund bank statements. And then on page 23 is the payroll bank statement. When do you think, Mr. Merles, when do you think we should be discussing, moving some of this money back to PRIP?
Well, I think we just talked about it. I thought that maybe we'd go through the end of the year and then we could
In
take what,
January?
yeah, we can take what accumulates with the interest and the overpayment on the $1.8 million. I mean, we could do it now, but why not wait out till the end of the year?
No, it's fine. Just wanna make sure that we're all on the same page here.
Is that all right with you, Jake and Marty?
Yeah, we work always at the discretion of the board and at the direction of the board, so whatever you guys always want to do, we'll make happen for you.
But you must have a sense of that each month when you do the reconciliation, right?
Yeah, we consider it, and, you know, I mean, I also look at the kind of the macro, I mean, well, we have 260 or 280 in our million, if we added $1 million to that, that really doesn't move the needle tremendously, in terms of investments, so. You know, 10% of 280 million is 2.8 million or 3 million, so, you know. I mean, every bit helps, but
What I'm getting at is you're right. It's not a big chunk of change, but you know, we have a fiduciary responsibility to make every dollar count, and this is
Right.
just one way of doing it. I mean, you know.
yeah, no, I agree with that too, and, you know, if it can serve us better, especially over the long run in our investment, you know, PRIT accounts, of course, I think that's a good, fiscal policy.
Yeah, at the same time, we can review the 1.8 million to see if that's still reasonable. I don't know.
Yep. So
I mean,
what I'll do,
as the Fed lowers rate, the interest we earn on those two checking accounts at TD is gonna decrease. So that'll eventually not be a big issue.
yep, and what I'll do for the board at the end of the year is, which I did last year, is I'll take all of our payrolls, I'll put on one sheet for the board so you guys can see it easily laid out. I'll have a column for all of our payrolls, what we paid every month. I'll have a column for all of our expense warrants, what we paid every month.
Yeah.
We'll be able to total that. I'll be able to average that. I'll have those numbers for you so you guys can see how tight or how much you want to manipulate that 1.8 million.
No. I mean, worst case scenario. I mean, you review my point to we might have to increase it, although I really doubt that. And if it's too tight, we could leave it at $1.8 million. I mean, you know.
Yeah, and we haven't.
We don't know what's going to happen month to month. That's the problem.
That's true, but
You know, if we have some retirees, big retirees that maybe go to work for some other municipality, they're going to take that money out of there. I mean,
yeah,
you know, one recent one, that's $500,000. So, anyways, we'll wait and see.
yeah.
There's no big deal. No big rush to do anything.
I would say though, as a board, we are we are putting the retirees' money to good use for them. Because we have over 99% of the funds invested, so. You know, we're not like a board that's holding back on 20%, and that really would be more of an issue. Why a board is not having that money invested.
I'm not suggesting anything else.
Yep,
Hey, on page 20, Jake, those checks out of the TD bank account,
We're going backwards.
yeah, so some of them are, the refunds, transfers and rollovers. What do the other ones correspond to? Just different
let's see,
things?
page 20.
Oh, we're on the bank statement.
Mhm.
They're usually all from the expense. But I could bring an expense warrant from,
I have right here.
yeah, so they almost always tie back to the expense warrant. Cause any dollar leaving the retirement system
Mm,
has to, you know, be on an expense warrant.
yeah, I'm just trying to type in.
Sometimes the months overlap a little bit, but
These
I think she's
are-
looking at the
Yeah.
114,522. Let's see that.
I'm looking at all of them, like, I was able to find some of the.
Right, I know,
transfers,
but
I don't know
that's
where
the one that's jumping up.
Mm. Let's see. These are all here. Mm,
And are you
okay.
talking about the deposits?
Now the check's paid.
I don't understand what you're talking about.
actually, in the recon, let's see, let me look at the recon. Cause usually you would have that listed. So that's that's an August statement.
There's a check for 114,522, and I'm looking at July, August expenditure checks. And I'm not seeing a check for that amount of money. This the 26th.
Yeah, and you, sorry, Jake.
Wait, that sounds like, that's okay. I wonder if that's, that, those amounts could be insurance. I think that's an insurance check. Let's go to the payroll warrant.
Mhm.
Go to the payroll warrant.
What page?
That should be page 8. But Michelle, go to July's payroll warrant.
Yeah,
So we really only have, other than a transfer or a refund, that would be a big refund though.
17.
A person could technically do it, but usually any $100,000 is usually either federal tax or the health insurance check for
It
retirees.
doesn't come out of the payroll account. Doesn't come out of the payroll account, Jake, the taxes.
Yeah, the taxes, yeah.
Yeah, 117 in July.
Yeah, and it was 119.
Allocation of things. could be under-
One check would be one check. He would have listed it. It would be
So-
whole, you should be able to do a 1-for-1.
I'm finding that all of the other expenses from what you gave us, but not. So you have a Lindsay O'Brien refund in August for $5,811.75. Which is money that we sent out, right? You're refunding somebody else for Lindsay?
No, we would refund Lindsay.
Okay, she probably left before she retired. And then another refund to Max Mayers.
Yep. Max.
That I don't see here. I see Lindsay's, but I don't see Max.
I think we had Max, what happened was is Max left, needed his money.
Yeah,
So there was a small residual amount that we owed Max. I think it was incorporated into his larger amount, but he didn't receive the full larger amount on a prior expense warrant. So the timing of things, I believe. But I know Max had a residual amount. So what happens, Tatiana, is if somebody leaves the town and they have some sort of hardship, especially with Needham Housing Authority, we only get a deduction check for once a month from Needham Housing. So if somebody from Needham Housing,
he wasn't Needham Housing, he was town.
I didn't say he was,
Oh, okay.
I'm just using an example. But forget Needham Housing, but Needham Housing is a good example of where you would certainly see most of the time. So as somebody left from Needham Housing, see, we get a deduction check every week from Michelle and her staff. But Needham Housing only gives us that once a month. So if somebody from Needham Housing leaves, they have mortgage due, car payments due, we don't want to cause them any hardship. So what we'll often do is say, okay, you have, your 8,000 in your account, we'll refund you your 8,000, we'll hold the federal tax. But just know next month, you might get a residual amount for your deductions, and it's usually a smaller amount.
I see, so he was paid in full originally, you're just accounting for the.
Yeah,
balance here?
I think that was with Max, remember Max? Remember the people that call me and tell me that they have
Well, he didn't necessarily had a hardship, but what happened was, we had him termed and in the system, and then he ended up working an extra week that we weren't aware about. So we had to give him, and when I realized, oh, he had extra funds, so I had to do yet another transfer, refund, that's all.
Yeah, that happens too. Sometimes the schools are not very communicative.
This was DPW. He just worked, a week longer than we were aware of. So I had to give him actually that $138 that they took out of his account because they didn't, he worked further. That happens a lot. So especially with the schools.
I'm sure, yeah, so I'm just asking, where is that check then, I guess?
It probably just hasn't, what I just did is I went through the statement and I checked off everything on it was on the expenditure warrant for July and August. I mean, it was literally like a 1-for-1 if you were looking.
Yeah,
The only thing that I don't see are the first three on this statement on checks that have cleared.
So
Um,
then that means the check hasn't cleared.
Right.
It could be, yes, and all the asterisks, they
well, no,
show you
those are
that they're
checks
missing
that,
ones in between.
yeah, those are checks that have cleared or they wouldn't be on the bank statement.
Right.
So, but there again, I don't know why somebody would hold on to a check for too long, but sometimes you receive a check and you do sit on it for a while.
Okay, so the answer
You're
is,
looking for Max Major's
Right.
check to
the
hit the
answer
bank.
is that he hasn't cleared the check, not that we already paid for it.
So we say that again?
The answer for where is the check for Max Mayers is that he hasn't.
Right,
cashed the
if you
check.
haven't seen it on the bank
Well,
statement, that's correct.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
follow up with people asking them. Well, actually, we do. When Marty and I see
When you
something
look at
that's
the bank-
pending for a while, we do actually reach out to them, but
Okay.
usually I wouldn't do that until I see 2 or 3 months down the road. Then I'll say, hey, let's call this guy. Why isn't he cashing his check?
Mhm.
If you look at the bank reconciliation, you should see Max check as part of the reconciling item. So your bank reconciliations are on page 27 and 26. So if you're looking at the expense warrant, 26, you should see, there's Mayor's right there. See how it's outstanding,
The 138.
the 138. But you're saying there's another amount that you're not seeing outstanding.
I think, did you just go through everything? You found
What's the
every all
amount,
the check?
what's the amount of money you're looking for?
I'm just looking, so I found all of the checks from May 26 on.
Right, but I'm
I
looking,
was trying to find the checks on the left side, on the left column, but you already.
I
did
don't
that?
know where Max is. What month were you in?
No, we found Max. He just hasn't cashed the check.
No, it would be on here if you didn't cash it. That's what I'm saying. It should show up on here. If he didn't cash a check, it would show up on the bank reconciliation.
He is there, right? He
For
is
$138.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what you're talking
That's the
about.
one I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
And, but I'm saying is I can't find anything on the left side column of the checks paid for the August statement.
So, yes, so,
But you.
I don't
you
know
just
the
did
first
that,
three.
right?
I didn't
Yeah.
do the first three I could not find. But starting with 45,572,
Mhm.
that is on July's. Our meeting that we had in August for July. So
It's just the overlap. of
if you go
time.
down here, yes, it's just timing.
Okay, thank you.
I
And
don't know, Jake, though, what those first three are.
yeah,
That-
I'll,
that does.
I'll look them up, cause I get the copy of all the checks from Diane, so.
I went back, so this was August, I went back to July and I didn't see that amount on July either. Yeah, I don't see a 30,000 or 52.
Yeah, so those check numbers come, they
Yep,
correlate to
Diane.
Diane's
Yep.
check, so we'll be able to, we have all that.
Break them
Yeah,
back
just
in.
the first three, the 3230, 3255, and 3260.
Yeah.
And I don't believe.
And we always, that's part of the backup that we say is always available upon request. We just try to, give you the high level and save a little bit on printing and I guess reading, but if I give you all the backup to the expense warrants, it's another 40 pages or so because when we do a refund or a transfer, especially a transfer, we have to send it's like 4 or 5 different pages that come from our software because the other system needs to be able to know all the annuity, all the pension numbers, all the deduction amounts. They need the check. So Liz runs even for a simple refund. We don't really need to give as much data because it's just going to the person. And a lot of times they wouldn't really understand half of it. But if
So, yeah.
so,
I do that.
Tatiana, so
There-
if
there's
you-
Page 26 of the July
So,
packet.
if
of
you
the
look at-
August packet.
If you look at the August packet.
Yeah. I
And you
found
look
them.
at page 26, you'll see that MTRS has 2 outstanding checks, one for 114, one for 5233. You don't have to do anything. And the other one was Joan Wall refund 30,100.
Interesting. I think.
So they're all
what's
in
throwing me off,
reconciliation, yeah,
throwing me
okay.
off is that we're calling this a July budget reconciliation.
so, no, so if you look at the top of, so are we talking about page 26?
Of the August
Okay,
meeting
if you look at
packet.
the top of it,
Yeah,
it says August reconcil, I know. You know what? That's why I put a little disclaimer on the agenda at the top. I say to try to help you guys, but we're at the whims of the timing of when we receive things. So to answer your question, Tatiana, this is an August reconciliation up at the top left corner. And I usually highlight it for you guys too, but that's a reconciliation through August.
mhm.
The expense warrant, as Michelle even, I think, elaborated on this a couple of months back, the expense warrant is right up through current day because we don't want to withhold money from giving it to people. It's not right.
Mhm.
Just like if you left here, you shouldn't have to wait 6 weeks to get your money. So we run our expense warrants right up through, it's the September expense warrant, because it could go right up to like if Liz does a refund yesterday. And that's proper.
Okay, so
Now-
what you're saying is that for this month, for
Yeah,
example.
you know what really throws us off is the
Yeah.
PRIT statements, because if it weren't for PRIT,
Yeah,
and Marty can attest, for some cockamamie reason, probably for commissions and all the other stuff that they pull into things. But PRIT statements, we don't receive till about the 20th of the month, which is after, almost always after the board meeting. Now, bank statements, as you all know, and none of us probably have TD Bank, I don't know, it doesn't really matter, but on our personal life, I have Bank of America. But all of our bank statements are ready on the first, almost always. Maybe a holiday might skew that a little bit, but we can always, so most of the reconciliations and the bank statements themselves go right back to the prior month.
Right, so for example, on page 27, when you have this, August reconciliation,
Yep,
those expenses for Jones, Matt and GIC, the health insurance, those will not be in this packet, right?
yeah, so here, and then here's another curveball, if you will, or complicating or a factor, is we process retiree payroll at the end of the month. I know this is most expense warrant stuff, but sometimes it does take some time. Like, so what I do is I take your signed expense warrant, I have to create vouchers. Then that just gives, that what all that is that gives Diane a place. Liz even makes the envelope to mail the check. We don't even see the checks. So we have, and it's a good control in a sense, but we give the expense warrant over to Diane along with the vouchers and the envelopes. She writes the check and then she mails it for us, the treasurer's office.
Right, so again, my question is, these expenses on page 27 of this month's packet, we won't see until next
This
month.
is payroll. No, so these, no, these are checks that will cut.
Yeah,
We already approved them. This is a bank reconciliation. A bank reconciliation can have
Right.
checks that you cut 4 months ago on it if somebody didn't cash it.
yeah, but
The
Tatiana's
bank
right.
reconciliation is what the bank has.
Yeah.
That's not my question. I think it's similar to last year. We're seeing July expenses
Yeah,
on the August bank reconciliation. We're gonna see these guys
Yeah,
in the October.
she's right. She should see those clear next month, but guess what? Those are,
they're not gonna be, no, they're not part of the expense warrant. They're already part of the expense warrant. That's
Yeah.
what she's saying.
yeah.
No.
They're
I'm asking
already,
if they're gonna be
this
in the
payroll,
bank
those payroll,
reconciliation
that's
bank.
payroll, Tatiana, you're looking at payroll. This is payroll.
Like if I told Diane, hey, tell me,
Oh, I'm looking at payroll.
You're looking at payroll.
Got it.
Payroll's part of that big.
Same
thing.
question, Michelle. These expenses
Okay.
right here, oh my
26.
God. These expenses will
Right.
be in next
No.
next month's.
So you've already had them.
I
On
think-
page 26, if you're looking at Fay, Majors, Nelson, and Lorenzo, those checks have already been cut. They're saying that these checks are outstanding.
sure. But I think what Tatiana's
No,
saying
that's,
is.
that's what,
well,
we're not,
I am.
no, she's talking about this sheet right here. She's talking about the expense warrant. They're not gonna be on the expense warrant. They already are, we're on the expense warrant.
That's true too.
They were already on the
I'm
expense.
asking
warrant.
about will they be in the bank account?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Oh,
that's
they'll
why-
be on the bank
Yes,
statement.
that's what I was
Yes.
trying to say. I think Tatiana's right. So,
Yes,
but
if you're looking on this page here,
Yeah.
yes, they'll be part of the bank statement showing they cleared.
The only
If
thing-
they clear.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say is I can't say if Fay or take Majors,
Yeah,
that's $138. Is he probably pressed to go to the bank? He probably is, who isn't? But he could have that sitting around on his desk for a month or two. I don't care, but I will know at some point as I do my monthly reconciliations with Marty. I'll say, hey, look at Max Majors. How long have we've been, this is how Marty and I talk. How long have we been carrying this check? We scroll up, it's a workbook, so I can scroll up all throughout the year. And I say, look, we've been holding this for like 3 months. So I was like, sometimes I'll tell Liz, hey, call that guy, ask him, does he have his check? Is he gonna deposit in the bank? He's sitting on it, it's not clearing the bank. Or make sure he received it. Some things do get lost in the mail. So there's, we get to the bottom of it one way or the other.
yeah. You gotta bear with me because I'm trying to make sense of the way that information is presented, which is not.
The bank reconciliation they do is
Yeah.
based on all the checks that they have been cut from a long time ago and what is still outstanding on the bank statement.
I
So they're
do my
taking the
best to-
book balance minus the outstanding check should equal the bank balance, and the bank balance should match that minus any outstanding or add any outstanding deposits. So you're gonna take your bank balance, you're gonna add any deposits in transit, you're gonna get a balance. And then you're gonna take your book balance, you're gonna subtract any outstanding checks to get your ending book balance, and the two should match.
Yeah, like right now, and I would love, it's Prit, to me, it's Prit that confuses it all, because actually everything harkens back to last month. We're in September, but we're in mid-September, so everything, the bank recs, the bank statements are all from August. Prit, Marty can attest right now, we haven't gotten a Prit statement yet for August, and it's already September
Yeah.
15th or whatever the date is today, 16th. So, right, Marty?
Yes, that's right.
So Marty will get it, I can show you, I have to log in now. They used to email it to us, but I have to log in now. Francesco can talk. Actually, that's a good question. That's a great question for Francesco. Hey, Francesco, why can't the bank, I'll ask it next month. Francesco, I have a quick question. Why is it the Prit statements, unlike bank statements, aren't available on the first or the second of the month of every, for the prior month? I don't know the answer to it. I really, in a way, personally don't care, as I just operate with Prit 2 months in arrears essentially, but, and I'm used to it now, but, yeah, in my early days too, I was like, why am I not seeing Prit's statement, you know?
What I do want to say to you though is looking at the bank statement, Marty can look at this too. Check number 3260 cleared for $30,110. $100.10. Joan Well, on the
I can already explain it to you.
June retirement, we signed off on her being 30,116.90.
Yeah, there was, so Joan and his daughter, so that's Larry, what was Larry's last name? Was
I'm
it-
saying there's a different amount than what we signed off on the warrant. I
Okay,
know you split it. I don't care about that.
okay, yeah.
I'm saying that amount there is 30,116.90.
Yeah, I think,
And what the check was actually cut for was a little bit less than
yeah,
that.
and there was a small difference there because when PTG was calculating it, it didn't consider something that I had to have fixed, so.
Okay, so just in the future, just
Mhm.
that'll be a side note for the board to
And that's a
say
good
that
point,
this
because,
changed.
and that's a good point, and you guys have seen them, sometimes I even highlight the row, but,
Yeah.
or sometimes we have a last minute, again, a last minute, and actually there's a last minute expense warrant, sometimes you see that, I call it a revised expense warrant. It's usually somebody that needs their money, and then occasionally, I never try to do it, I pull it out of my pocket only a couple times in a year. But there is sometimes a special warrant that where, something happens, somebody loses their job tomorrow. Instead of making them wait another 4 or 5 weeks, sometimes, and then they give me the sob story, and I do feel bad about people. And that's why I always act in the best interest of people, so in a timely manner. So then I'll say, okay, this is what we'll do. You might have from accounting, you work this week, but you might get a small refund, in a month or two, or not a month or two, but you might get a small refund next month, because I have a feeling we're waiting on somebody that takes the accounting office. I said, but yes, I can refund you. I won't make you wait till 5 weeks from now to next board meeting. There is a mechanism in place where I can have my board sign off on a special expense warrant. Anyway, I digress.
All right, thank you for that.
I still am confused on an MTRS check, but because I'm not seeing that amount of money on our warrant.
So the big thing is though, that the way, Marty and I would look at it, and we do look at it this way, is, you can get as much as in depth as you want, but we're fully reconciled. Every check that Diane has sent out hits our bank statement, so every check is in a bank statement. Every check that leaves the office, if Marty doesn't account for it, our reconciliation, our GL would be out of balance with our bank. And our bank reconciliations, as you guys can always see, I always tell you where I would bring my eyes is to this lower right area, because what you don't see in this little tiny right area on the, for anybody that can't see me well, I'm looking at the bank reconciliation pages on like 26 and 27 this month. Marty and I, our eyes always go to the lower right corner. There's a little empty, what they call cell, but just a little empty block down there. if there's that's a formula that compares the ending balance in the bank to the ending balance at GL. If they do not agree, we would even show even 1 cent difference there. So, you know, that's how we kind of look at it, but it's more of a macro,
Can we move on? Can we move on?
Yes.
I mean, it'd be nice if we had this lengthy discussion over $1.3 million that we pay print rather than 138 that seems to
Well,
be.
it wasn't just 138, it was trying to,
Understand the number.
understand that what the numbers are, so we are good. Like I said, I'm still not seeing that MTRS check on any of our warrants that we signed off on for 114. So, I will follow up with. Here it is right here. So it's here on refunds.
Mhm.
What date is that,
Well,
Michelle?
I'm seeing it on the May refund report.
114,522, is that what you're looking for?
Yeah, I just found it on the May report, so I'm wondering.
and even on the Schedule A, there's a disclaimer on the bottom. If somebody dies,
What's the
Yeah.
name on the account?
I get in the weeds, guys, but because there's a lot of moving pieces, but it's really just inter-office stuff, but even on the Schedule A, if somebody dies, you know, at the end of a month,
Mhm.
you would, ideally, you would want to see that on that Schedule A, but it's not because we don't find out till like 2 weeks later, so sometimes, you don't see it on there either.
Okay. I have April in here for some reason. Okay, so, moving on. Any questions with the payroll bank statements? Tatiana? Just the thing.
No.
Okay, then we're going to page 26, which is the expense account bank reconciliation. And page 27, which is the payroll reconciliation. And let me know, Tatiana, when you're all set, and I'll move on to the budget.
Okay.
Okay, any questions? We're on page 28 with the budget. We still seem to be on track with everything.
Yeah, except for legal, but we haven't really been hit with any, you know. I think it'll taper off as we start to get into these last, really since, August and so forth. I think we'll start to dwindle that down. But
Yeah. As long as we don't have any disabilities, I think you're right.
yeah, that's what Bob kind of said it better than I did, but we got hit heavy in the beginning of the year. But next year, come January, maybe we want to increase legal just to have a buffer in there of 25,000, or 30,000. And we'll have surpluses in other areas.
Okay.
Do we want to, on our next meeting, do we want to have a preliminary budget for, for calendar year 26? Because if we have questions with it, then it can be adjusted. For our November meeting, we'll come back and then, we'll agree on that, and then it'll be ready to rock, rather than wait till the end of the year and not have a set budget in place. We can
Well,
either,
Would it be better if Jake sent us before the meeting. We could develop our questions before the meeting. Does that
Are you
make any
talking,
sense?
are you referring to a proposed new budget?
Yes, a
Yeah, the new
preliminary,
budget.
yeah. We
Uh,
could either do it for our October meeting or we could do it for our November meeting, but if we have any questions or we want to change anything,
Yeah,
then we come back to our December meeting and we vote on it. So,
Yeah.
I mean, we do have a month. Do have a month leeway at this point, but I don't know if we want to be proactive and get it all squared away before the last month of the year, or wait till the last month of the year to be agreeing on a set budget.
yeah.
And preliminary budget should be discussed ahead of us voting.
Yes, but do we want it in October or November?
Well, October's a busy meeting. I mean, when Fred comes,
Oh, they're gonna come.
That is,
you know,
Okay.
we always have to send out for lunch and dinner.
Okay, so let's plan on then the preliminary budget being in on our November meeting.
yeah, and I can always send one now, in early November, so you guys can, kind of take a look at it. To tell you the truth, it's really not rocket science. All I really do is I look at the average over as many months as I can. Where sometimes the PTG invoice, I
Yeah.
usually just incorporate a small, like 2% expected, raise in their prices, but legal expense is the moving target, it can be very low one year or it can be rather high. So, but the rest is pretty straightforward. They're not hard numbers to approximate.
Okay, do we need a vote on this?
No,
No?
I
Okay.
don't think so, no. Okay, so that sounds good. So no questions on the budget, old business. Jake has been talking about old business since minute 3 of this meeting, so Francesco
Not really
is
for
coming,
any, only because.
is
yeah.
coming
Well,
next
actually,
month.
they do, we do have looming questions. I didn't really think about, the timing of print statements, but it seems to be a talking point by some of the board members for some reason often, but we can ask about that. We certainly can ask, I think, for Bob and for the board, we should definitely be able to, we are their customer. Anything that a customer asks within reason, the vendor should be able to provide. We don't ask for anything really from Prit. They should be able to give us a breakdown of one of the larger months, for
Yeah, well,
instance.
You have to
Yeah.
understand the mentality. Under normal conditions, where we're the customer, we have some leverage. And that leverage is if we don't like what they do, we leave. They know we can't leave. So they're gonna do whatever they damn please. And that's the bottom line. Plain and simple.
Yeah, well, we do have net positive returns year after year with
Oh, I'm
them,
not,
well, except for maybe COVID.
I think the returns could be better if we weren't paying millions and millions the staff, I bet the staff 5 years ago was 50 people, now it's 70. The payrolls, 10 or 15 million dollars. I mean, they only have 104 customers, and they don't have to worry about those customers leaving because they have them by the back of the neck. Anyways, let's move on. I have to go to the hospital.
Okay.
okay,
All right, I think that's all I have. Anyone have any questions? Any more questions? Oh, sorry, there's the new, tomorrow is the forum.
Yeah.
And,
I have a question on a Zoom link. Hit the link that Jake sent out the September 12th email packets, and I was like stuck in a waiting room or something. And my wife, who's up north, texted me and said he sent another link. which look completely different. So I had to shut down and get onto that. Is that gonna be the procedure from now? Sending a link like 5 minutes before the meeting?
So Tatiana, do the panelists receive a different link than someone from the public that would just want to view?
Yes.
Okay,
But as a panelist, you can also use the public link.
and you
then
showed me
promote-
today.
Yeah, you promote them, so either way it works.
okay, I'll fix that for next month. So the town, they had some new way of doing the webinars. So that's why we had a little bit of technical glitch, but that will be fixed for next month. So the link in your board packet you'll be able to use, and I'll be able to make you a panelist. But don't worry about the terminology. It'll be fine for you. You'll be able to use that link that I have on the agenda and the cover page going forward.
We also got you send it panelist invite this.
Yeah, because this morning I didn't know if I could, I didn't want to confuse people by sending the panelist link like a week ago or whatever.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now that you showed me.
Last month when I was there in person, I didn't know if my Kindle, is old, is not gonna support that. So the link that you had sent a few days before was sort of like the link that you just sent a few minutes before today. So,
Okay.
it worked. I tested it last month when I was there in person.
Oh,
This-
okay.
But this link
Yeah.
that, I just want to know the procedure, for next month, because,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna.
the procedure will stay the same for the board. You'll see the link on the agenda or the cover page, and in the email. That's the same one. I just copy and paste it into the body of the email when I send you guys the board packets. You'll just see that one link going forward because Tatiana showed me how to make people a panelist. So, and we'll just never make a public person a panelist again.
Yeah.
Motion
All
to
right, yeah,
adjourn.
because that, the correct link has about, 1,000 characters in it. That's, it's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, nothing will change for the board. It'll be nice and easy as it always has been for the board.
Okay.
And
Motion
All
to
right.
adjourn.
Thanks, thank you.
Adjourned by Mr. Merles, second,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Steves, roll call.
Yes.
Mr. Steves says yes, Mrs. Swanson,
Yes.
Mr. Kowecki
Yay.
and Mr. Merles,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes. Our next meeting is October 15th at 9:30 AM. See you then. Thank you.
Bye.
Meeting.
Thanks.
Jake.
oh, yes, sir.